Hi, my name is Alessandro Angelosi and that's a video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for Max Cookie. Today we'll continue to work at the Photoreal interior with VRay, and this time we'll continue to add more props and furniture all around. So let's start creating a lamp, and we can create a lamp, and this lamp can be put, for example, there on this part of the room. So let's use just this one as measure. Then we go in the 4 view and zoom outside, and we'll try to model it really fast. So let's use the spline. Let's go for a line, and we'll try to do something simple, and later we can fix to create a better result. So let's go for a line, and let's start with something like that, and then obviously we have to scale a little bit the various stuff I'm creating. Let's move there, and we can move these vertices. Right mouse button, and there's a corner, and we move this one there. Okay, then we need to continue the shape, so we can remove the start new shape. Let's use the angle snap, the 3-point snap to the vertex, and then okay, something like that. So let's see this shape, and we can assign directly a lathe set with minimum. So we see how much we have to change. We see the final result, and we start to move the various stuff. Let's remove the angle snap. So this one stay there. That's the base, and we go for something like that. Let's go to zoom. But these vertices can be more little. Then let's move this one. And let's go on the top. This one must be moved over this axis. Then both can stay to something bigger, because we don't see inside the lamp, but maybe we can scale a little bit the vertices. Okay, then let's select all these vertices and also this one and this one. Okay, so then we can select the, let's try with the chamfer. Okay, we remove the edges faces, and it seems working fine. So let's close, and there we like to have, let's say, 32 weld core to be sure that we are welding the core. and generate mapping coordinates. Then again, let's say that we have something really simple. We can use, let's go for a cylinder, or maybe we can go directly with a tube from the top. We can make something like that, and we do it really little and big in this way. So we say that the radius is right. We have, let's say, 36 segments, maybe more. Let's go for 40, and let's move it on the top, and we can make it more little. Okay, and let's put a little bit down. Perfect. And the base can be also a little bit more little there, so we can move those vertices to something like that. And then we select this part, and we can use an edit poly. And we go to select those edges there and the edges there. Then we can use a perspective zoom to adjust this object, and we need to create a little chamfer. Okay, it should be really a little, so let's go for 0.15, so just a little bit. Okay, done. Back in the camera. Okay, and this part will be metallic, but before I like to have also a spline, but we can model it later. So let's say that this one is a chromic material, and we can create a new material, and we call it chrome lamp. It's a VRay material. Black color, freshen reflection, maximum reflectivity, and we go for 18 for the IRR. Just a little bit of reflection glossiness. Okay, and a little bit of anisotropy, nothing so much. Perfect. Then I like to give a material for this one too. Let's go there, and let's say big lamp, and we go to have a multi-sub object with just two material. One is white and one is black, so let's assign, and we can use this one is the white material, but there I like to have a dark color, so let's go for a VRay material, and we go for something similar to a black color with a little bit of reflectivity, with a really heavy, let's say 7 glossiness, and we go to have a little bit of anisotropy. We have to check there the glossiness, maybe we need less. Let's go for 0.6. And the white is something similar, so let's create a copy, but there we have a clear color and it is more with less glossiness, and it is a little bit less reflective, okay, and less anisotropy. So let's unhide all the various stuff, and these objects with this one I like to move it, so we can zoom and put this lamp there. So let's go in the right camera, let's go in the camera number 1, and we go to render, but let's say at 900. Let's go for this render with no anti-alias and a low level for the max rate, and we can stay with this value there, and let's go for a lower value for the mean samples and the global subdivision, and render. We can remove the displacement just to make the test. So global switches are removed, displacement. Okay, cancel, and I like to render just this area and render. Okay. Okay, it's nice. I like just to change a little bit the shape. So let's pick this one. Let's go at full screen, and we can use a taper. And let's use the right amount. Okay, nice. So save. The first thing is done is the lamp, but I like to add the power cord because we have nothing. We can remember that there we put something, so we can make a cable coming from there and going down. So let's start preparing a line, and let's say that we have the line there, so it starts there. I try to put something like that. Let's go there, and we put the curve a little bit over. Then in the perspective, let's zoom to the curve there. Okay, and interpolation, we say adaptive, and then we start moving some vertices. And I like to have this one on the top. Let's say that we have the cable there, and then it goes down there. Okay, we can make two things. One is to use the rendering there, and we say enable on render, enable in viewport, and you see that we have a cable just in a really fast way, and you see it's 1 centimeters. We can say that it's 0.75, and we have 12 can be enough, and then we go there and we create a really simple shader, let's say power chords, and we go for a black plastic, nothing so complex. So black color, a little bit of reflectivity, freshen reflection, and we go for 0.9 for the reflectivity, and that's all. So back to the camera there, and you see that we have the cable. If we go for the other camera, we have the cable there, so everything is right. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's go in a perspective to check the camera, and we have to work there on this part because you see we have nothing. So let's select just the room and go in isolation, zoom to all viewport, and we are talking about this part. So let's zoom, and we need to create something. We can create, let's go for a box. We try to do something really simple. Okay, we have this box there, we put inside okay, and we can decide to have a different material, maybe there on the ground. So let's go to zoom there, and the box also in this case, and we say that this box stays there. Obviously we don't see outside from our point of view, but it is nice to have the right thing in the right part of the scene. So zoom there and zoom again, and this one will be just a little bit higher, nothing so much. Okay, convert to editable poly, and this edge. Okay, this one can have a chamfer, but it is little with 2 segments. Okay, nice. This one can have a black color, black ground window, I'll sign, and this one will be material VRay, black color, and we go for freshener reflection with a little bit of reflectivity and an eye glossy, so 0.7. Okay, then let's go back to this one and let's make a clone, but this one will be more little. Let's say maybe something like that. Okay, and it will be bigger on this side. So there we can move to put inside and make a boolean, and from this point of view I like to have more metal there and less metal on the top. So then we can select the bigger one, and let's say compound boolean pick operand. Okay, we have a problem. Let's say back pro boolean pick operand. I think maybe that I'm using a wrong position. Let's see. Oh yes, right. Okay, nice. So let's pick there, and boolean pick operand, and this one. Okay, perfect. So this one will be a metal stuff, but I like to see how much it's big. It is really big, so let's go to have something more little, and we go to have it there. At full screen, convert to editable poly, and we pick these edges, chamfer, and we go for something more little. Okay, nice. and let's say that this one is a window of metal, we go for a VRay material and we pick a dark gray, and let's go for 8, a nice reflectivity, and let's try to have a really high reflection glossiness and something like that for the anisotropy, and then we can check it later. Then I like to have a glass. The glass will be a box, because I like to have not a plane for the glasses. We have to put it inside the metal part. So we put in the middle, and it is 1.5 centimeters. And we call it glass big window, and a sign, and then VRay material, black color because we have no diffusion, freshening reflection with the reflectivity set to 1.5, maximum reflectivity, just a little bit of reflection glossiness. And then we go for the refract, let's say 210, use affect shadow, and then we go for just a little bit of coloring for the fog multiplier, and let's go for 0.2, but we are obviously to test it, and let's close. And then I like to have some more metal parts over the window, just to have some spaces, something related to the window. So we can do something over an axis and then over the other axis. So let's go for extended primitives, some from box. Let's go on this point of view, and let's say something like that. Okay, and then we can fix it. So let's move the first one there, and we say that the fillet is 0.2, the 8 is maybe 2.5 centimeters, and at full screen maybe it's a little bit too high there. Let's say 2.5 centimeters, or this axis 2, and there let's say 2 centimeters. So we can give the same material, so we can go for let's reselect from there. Okay, so with the shift key we can make some copies, let's say with the instance 3 copies. Okay, nice. Then we go for something like that, but we rotate this one by 90 degrees as a copy. Then we move it in the middle, and let's say that this one will be bigger. So let's say that it is more little. We go from the ground inside the wall. Let's say that there we have 4 centimeters, and maybe it is also there bigger. Let's see from this point of view. Okay, I like to make it a little bit bigger. Let's say 6 centimeters. Because I like to see it outside the window, so maybe 3 centimeters there and 7 centimeters from this point of view. Okay, nice. And then we can make a copy. So I like to have 2 big area and 1 big area there inside in the middle. Perfect. So let's go back to the camera number 2 and hide everything, and we try to make a preview of this point of view just to understand if we see everything in the right way. Let's make something more little, and in the window there for the render, remove the region and render. Okay, now we start to have some shadows. We have to tune the shadows to find the best compromise there. Let's see what happens if we have a camera that maybe before with this one, and then we put another camera to see how it looks. So you see that we have more light coming from there and less light coming from the other on the other side. So let's scale there the point of view, and then back to the camera number 2, and then we say select camera, and let's make a clone. This one is the camera number 3, and let's select camera number 3 and select the target. So the target we will see there, and then select camera, and we go for something like that. Okay, so we can check from this point of view what we can see inside the room. So we have a big light. Let's see when we have no glasses. So this one in general will be not renderable. Let's render. Okay, and you see that we have maximum light coming inside. If we have it again renderable, we can say inside the material there, if we say that this one has the maximum and no fog, you see that we have still the light coming inside. So one really simple way is to have the refraction set to 210 as we done before. We can have a little bit of fog multiplier, and we can have the reflection because we need it. And let's see what happens if we go to set this one to no cast shadows, and we go again to render. And we see that we have the same thing, and that's due to the occlusion of the lighting coming from outside. So in reality, the simplest way is to use the right mouse button, VRay properties, and you can set off to visible to GI. So we'll have no occlusion due to the glass presence. So let's go in the, and you see that it is working again. Perfect. So we'll have the right illumination coming from this point of view there. So let's close there, and we have space to put another lamp, for example, there. So we can copy the one we just created, so let's pick the various part and let's make a clone. I'm not making a perfect clone with an instance because we have to change something maybe. So let's move it there, and we need for sure to change. So let's rotate a little bit, and then we can change a little bit the cable. So for the moment I'm just putting all the vertices there. Okay, nice. So we can then create another heart. So clone as a copy, and we can move it there. Let's give it a perspective just to see the entire wall. Okay, and we can put maybe something a little bit bigger just over this axis, going a little bit down. Okay, so there, group open. Okay, and there we can create another material. Let's call it art3, and a sign, and there again a VRay material with a bitmap, and we go to search in the 3ds Max map background, and let's see if we have something interesting that can be used. Maybe this one. So we have to close. Okay, and we can scale it maybe over this axis just a little bit. Okay, perfect. This should be maybe just a little bit near. Okay, camera number 3, and we can remake another test render just to see that we have also this one there. Nice, we have the cable and everything seems working fine. So save. Okay, let's model some more stuff inside the room, and let's go there. Let's use a perspective, let's rotate, and I like to put a little furniture there and there, yeah, made similar in the same way. So let's go zoom there, and I like to have a zoom to this part of the room, and let's go to create a chamfer box. Okay, we make it by 45 and 45. Maybe later we can do it more little bigger, I mean. Let's say 3 centimeters and 0.25. So it can be bigger, let's say 60 and 60. So you see it's really a little part, and we do it not so big. So let's say that the entire furniture is high as the table there. Let's go to zoom from this point of view. So we have this one, and then we have something similar there, bigger, okay, as an instance. Then we have another one near the ground, but this one will have more space. Nice. So then let's make a clone. You see we are modeling something really simple. So let's say as a copy, and this one is more little, let's say there. Okay, something like that. and then we have a piece more little to stay there. Okay, and then we can go for this one, and we make a clone using the shift key. Using the shift key. Okay, as a copy, there's more little, and let's make really little so we have space to put stuff inside there, and then we need to move it. So we move one on the side there, and one on the other side. Okay, and that's an instance. Then we select this one, rotate using the shift key by 90 degrees as a copy, and we move it there. We make it more little, but this one is a little bit bigger than the other one. Okay, and then we can align over the x-axis. Then we make a clone as an instance, and this one is aligned over the x-axis there. Perfect. Then we can put 4 spheres to make something to move this one. So we can create a sphere, and we can put one there. And let's move to stay on the ground. Okay, we have to move this one, and also this one, I think. So let's zoom just for a moment. Okay, this one stays on the ground. Let's zoom. Now this one stays on the ground. So this one can be bigger. Okay, let's move over this axis, and let's assign a black. We can use this plastic there, that's not a problem, because we see just the part as an instance, and then copy both there as an instance. Okay. So that's the new part. As you see, it's really simple. Select all pieces. And this one, nice. Let's make a new material, and let's say brown furniture. And there we need a VRay material. That's a brown color, a dark brown. Let's see if we can use, let's say, a composite with 2 layers. Let's copy this color with the right mouse button, and there we put an RGB tint. Let's paste the color, and then we can use black for both. There we can use a bitmap, and we can go to use an arc material. So let's go to the wood metal material there. We can maybe just use, you see, something like that, so a bump map, because this one can be used as, let's say, an addition, and we use a really lower value. you see, to something like that. Nice. I like to see this map to understand if the mapping is right. That seems not bad. Okay, and let's go in a camera. Let's go for the camera number 2. We need to move a little bit, so we can pick this one and move it. Okay, so again we can make a render and cancel, and let's select just this area and render. Okay, the color seems not bad. I like to change a little bit some stuff, and we can use this map. Let's say that this one is really reflective, but with a freshen reflection, and we can put this one as paste, and then you see that's the map. We can use a color correction, keep all map, and we can go for lower, so we can have a little bit less reflection on some part, and render again. Okay, you see that we have some part more reflective and some part less reflective. Let's use the same map there as the glossiness as a copy, and let's go to check the glossiness there. It's really high, so we can go a little bit higher with less contrast. So you see we have just a little bit of contrast over the maps. Let's make preview. I think we can go a little bit lower. Still a little bit lower. Okay. And back there, and we can have a bump map. So copy and paste inside the bump, sorry. We go for 10. And we have to change the blur to 0.3. And again, a test render. So it is a nice result. Let's select all the furniture there, so we can select in this way, but I don't like to select this one. So let's see if the selection is right. Okay, let's make a group and let's call it little furniture brown, and we make a clone as an instance. Let's go in the camera tree, and we have this one, let's say there. So let's make a render for this one too. So that's the result, and that's really nice. Let's go back there and save. Let's create another little stuff. We create another lamp to be put there. So let's select this one. We can go in a hide selection, and we can start modeling this one. This one too will be really simple. Let's use again. We can use directly a primitive, or maybe we can model it. So let's say that we use a line, and we go to have something like, let's say, we don't need the show line. Let's create something like that. Let's redo those spline because something stopped the creation, so let's create something like that. Okay, then we have something going up, then again outside, and then we have a line. Okay, let's use a lathe again. Let's go there, lathe minimum. Okay, let's move this one on the table. Let's go for the perspective also to have a nice point of view there. So I like to change a little bit the shape, the lines there. I like to move just a little bit there, and then more the other lines. Okay, then we need this one there and all these vertices, and we can use the chamfer and let's try with 0.15. Okay, and we have our lamp. Okay, there we can use another metal, let's say black glossy lamp. Assign VRay material, that's a dark color, really black, freshen reflection, and it is really reflective, but we have 0.6 for the reflectivity, and we have -4 for the anisotropy, and then we use a part on the top, and we can use something like, let's say, a curve like this one. Let's say lathe, minimum. We can adjust these vertices. Okay, do something like that. Then we have the lathe, let's use 40 for the segment, and then let's go for a shell modifier with 0.3. Okay, nice. Then I like to have something to put the lamp on the top, to stay on the top, so we can use some cylinder, really little. We have to make it bigger, then we can make it more little. Let's rotate by 90 degrees. It can be longer, and we can go for something like that. Okay, and we can have let's say that this one has the effect pivot to the center, this one has the effect pivot to the center. Then we can select this one, effect pivot, and we can align to this one, to the pivot. Okay, nice, close. And then from the top view we can make, there is a problem with the pivot. Okay, nice. Let's rotate again, 3 copies. And we have a problem because I created the stuff from a wrong point of view, so we have to move it from there to there. So we have to align over the X and the Y and now the Z. Okay, and this one can be more little, so let's change this one can stay there, and this one can go to be something like that. Okay, I think we have a problem with the other objects, the other cylinder, so let's check for okay, that's a problem. So let's go at full screen there. Okay, I made an align, so that's normal. Okay, this one. There is a problem to select the various stuff. Okay, done. The cylinder can have the same metal, and then we have to create the material for the upper stuff. Let's say upper little lamp. Okay, let's use a VRay material, and let's go in the camera number 2, unhide stuff, and I like to make a material something, let's say maybe something like that, with the freshener reflection, maximum reflectivity, a little bit of glossiness. Okay, then I like to have a little bit of transparency, and let's save and let's make a render. Okay, close and make a region selection there. Okay, let's say that it is a little bit more refractive. I think we can go also higher. But then we say affect shadows, and it is with the glossiness, so let's say 0.6. The fog color is something similar to an ivory color, and let's say 0.3. Okay, let's change also the starting color, just something like that, and again let's check. A little bit more yellow, but more clear, and there a little bit more coloring. Okay, and I like that to see if we have a little bit of translucency. Okay, we can stay without, we can go just for something like that. Maybe just a little bit more clear. Okay, nice. So now I like to put the cable also there. So let's scale a little bit. And let's go to have another curve. Let's say starting from there. Okay, so let's move this one with a perspective on the top there. Let's say that this one is enable in viewport, and we use the same plastic we used before. Okay, let's rotate a little bit. Okay, and this one stays on the ground, and I like to change the vertices there, and this one can go there, there, and down. Okay, so we have the cable going down. Nice. So back to the physical camera 2, and this one can be again a little bit more inside. So we have enough stuff there. We have just to model another thing there, something there, and this part, but we are near to finalize the project. So save, and we are ready to make a test render. We can use the other camera, camera number 3, and select the target, move, and let's say that we try to see something like that, and we are near, and let's move. Let's see also to change. Okay, perfect. Save. Let's check just the preview, and then we are ready for the final render. Okay, so that's the actual point of view. We have to finalize this part. We'll put another furniture there. Then we have to put on the other side, and we'll have a sofa on the side, and maybe a lamp on this part of the room. So we can make maybe some tests also to have the version done by night. Sorry. Scale a little bit. Okay, nice. And save. So for the moment that's all, and I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.